What's up, guys? This is Mr. Eldridge, and in today's video, we're going to look at the rise of American sectionalism between northern states and southern states in period 4. One of the most notable developments in the early 19th century was a growing sense of sectionalism. Northern and southern states began to drift apart for several reasons. The northern states and the southern states began to drift apart for several reasons. The most prominent issue being that of the institution of slavery. While the United States initially held a more abolitionist view, the prominence of Southern King Cotton changed Southern attitudes. In the North, however, and among former slaves, abolitionist sentiments grew in the early portion of the 19th century. While some opposed slavery on moral grounds, others opposed slavery to protect white wage labor, like in West Virginia, and others to keep blacks out of Western territories. The North and the South also began to divide along cultural and economic lines. In the South, the prominence of King Cotton vastly expanded the agricultural sector and put the wealth and power into the hands of large plantation owners. In the North, industry and commerce resulted in a shift towards a commercially based society during that market revolution that we talked about in our last video. Railroads, canals, and new technology were funded, built, and stretched across the American Northeast. The South, however, lagged far behind technologically as the emphasis became cash crops and slave labor. And so you start to see various compromises regarding the institution of slavery. The tension over slavery was worsened by the addition of these new territories in the 19th century. Being unsettled, these Western territories had to determine the status of slaves in these new states. In 1820, there was a perfect 11-11 split between slave states and free states, one that Southerners wanted desperately to maintain, even resulting in fistfights in Congress on more than one occasion. Many Northerners and Westerners, however, wanted slavery to stay limited to either protect white wage earners who could not compete with free slave labor, or simply did not want blacks in the West. Tensions were dealt with the Compromise of 1820, also known as the Missouri Compromise. The agreement that slavery could not exist north of the 3630 parallel line except for in the state of Missouri. The agreement only reduced hostilities temporarily. Tensions renewed again in 1854 with the addition of Kansas and Nebraska territories as states, as we are going to see in Unit 5. Finally, with today, we're going to look into immigration in the United States. Immigration in the 1820s to 1840s would rise considerably with the expansion of textile mills and early factories that offered opportunities for employment for people, including Europeans. Additionally, external factors such as the potato famine in Ireland in the 1840s, as well as the revolutions in Germany in 1848, resulted in many mostly Catholic immigrants making their way to the less crowded and opportunity-filled United States. On the Pacific coast, the 1830s to 1860s saw a rapid influx of Chinese immigrants fleeing the bloody Taiping Rebellion to work constructing railroads, ships, cities, and mining for gold during the California Gold Rush after 1849. While most immigrants had previously been Protestants from Western and Northern Europe, these new immigrants were either not European and at all or were Catholic. These new immigrants were either not European at all or were Catholic. As a result, the competition for labor, and cultural blending, many Protestant Americans would organize resistance to these new immigrants in the 1850s, as we will see once again leading into Unit 5 of our study. Thank you so much for paying attention to this video. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do so. Thank you so much, and have a great day.